Hello friends, welcome back. Again, this is the fifth video in Time Intelligence DAX functions. In today's video, we are going to look into two very important functions, same period last year and parallel period. As the name suggests, same period last year is always looking at the data with the same period in the context we're looking at goes back by 1 year. And then there is a parallel period. We will look into how these are different and are they different than the DateAdd. Let's get to Power BI and take a look. First, we will look into same period last year. So here, what we did in the past in previous videos, more or less the same thing. The link to all previous videos will be in the description. So I have looking in the context of the year, quarter and month, what the actual dates are in that range. And then I have a function same period last year. So just quickly look into what that is. So it is pretty much same period last year, and then it has only one parameter, which is dates. So there's no other parameter because it's, as the name says, it is same period last year. And what we will have here is, so I use that function and then we see what this returns. So as you can see, when we're looking in the year level, our date range is 2017 January to December, and same period last year, as the name suggests, is 2016, which is what we expect. So let's go deep one level. So this is a 2018 quarter first, and then of course this is the 2017 quarter first. So everything is moving back by 1 year. So, and if we go to the month level, this is like a February. So everything move back by 1 year, which is now 2017 February. And if we go to the date level, again, February 3rd, 2018, and it goes back to February 2017. So does that mean is like, it means that every context we are looking at, it is just taking us parallel to that same period in the last year. Now, the point we want to look at always at the total level, we want to understand how does that work. So as you can see, here it is at the total level, we have all the 5 years selected. So our date range is 2070 to 2021, January 27, 2021. Now in the same period last year, it moved back the whole data set, all dates by 1 year. So now it starts from 2016 to 2020. This is like a 5 years data, 2070 21. This is also 5 years data, but starting from 2016. So the question comes is it different than DateAdd -1 year if the interval is that? So let's put that, because we have a DateAdd functions in the past, and so just trying to see how it is different than that. So this one is date 3. In the third video we did DateAdd calendar date move value -1. I'm using parameter -1, so that is what if parameter, so basically going back 1 year. So if we bring our DateAdd function here and we want to see how does that, does the same period last year give the same result, or we get something different. So this is DateAdd going back by 1 year interval, and so as you can see here, we have same values as DateAdd year going back by 1 year and the same period last year. So we are at each granularity, we are seeing the same value. At the total, we are seeing the same value. If we go one level deep, quarter, everything is same. So it is, now we can conclude here is that if you want to use DateAdd calendar dates -1 year, instead of using that, you can simply same period last year. It will give the same result. So it's a shortcut of DateAdd -1 year is same period last year. And so all right, let's look at parallel period functions. So I already created parallel period page with all the functions in there. So first thing is parallel period. You can define the intervals in parallel periods. You can give a interval value which is -1 or +1, so you want to move forward or backward. And then there are 3 interval options: month, quarter, and year. There's no day option. Like in DateAdd, we have the option of day as an interval, and we can go move backward and forward. But in parallel period, We can move backward and forward, but only by month, by quarter, and by year. So keep that in mind. So let's look into these functions. What I did here is a same thing. I used the move value what if parameter again, that is set as -1, just to compare things with the other functions. So this one I used, okay, how much I want to move backward, what the interval I want to move backward, and what is the interval, like by month or by date or by year. So this is by month. So similarly, I have one for a year and one for the quarter. So those, we see those ones here. So let's compare how does they look like. So when we are in 2017, of course, actual date is a full year. And when the parallel period is by 1 month, so basically what it is doing is it is moving the dates back by 1 month. That sounds like similar to DateAdd function. So if we go DateAdd, that's what we get. We will compare these things, but let's first quickly look into parallel period. So again, when I'm going with the quarter, so it is moving the whole data set or the set of dates by 1 quarter, and as we can see, and then this one is it's moving the whole by 1 year. So let's go one level down. So when we are at the quarter level, so it is like a first quarter. So now it is giving if we move it by 1 month, so it is moving those quarter dates by 1 month. So starting from December to now February. And when we are in a quarter, so it's giving us the previous quarter basically. And then also when we go with the year, so we get a year. Now here is a one big difference in this case. If you look into this, what we are getting here is, so if we look at the month level, what we are getting is it's perfectly fine when we're quarter. It's moving back by 1 month. So it start from January. In this case, it start from now December and finish February. So 3 months here, moved back 3 months. But when we went to quarter here, so what we are seeing here is, so it moved back by previous quarter, so which is perfectly fine. And in this case, it moved back to now. Here is the something to be very, very careful. We are looking at quarter 1, which is a 3 months date. But look at the year level. It gave us the full year. So what does that means is, whatever the date range to give it, whatever the date range you give to the parallel period, depending on the interval you give it to the parallel period, it will return the full period, right? In this case, it returned the whole year. Even previous year, it moved parallel period -1 because we said -1, and then it went like to the previous year and then give the full year. It's not only the quarter. So it's very, very important to know that what does that actually, how it works. So let's go further look into the February. So I'm in a February. So we have a February 2018. And when we are parallel period -1, of course, we get January. Makes sense because we moved back by 1 month. And now look at the quarter 1. It is not only 1 month. It moved this data set by 1 month, and then it gave us a 1 quarter, sorry, and then gave us the full quarter, not only 1 month. And in this case, as you can see, does not matter what level we are at. When we are parallel period year, we are always getting the full year. So in this, at the year level, we are getting, let's say if we are 2018, and we are still getting the full 2017. When we are at quarter level, still 2017. When we are at the month level, still full 2017. And we go to the date level, we are still getting the full 2017. So it means it always give us the full period depending on what interval we are using. So let's look at January 2nd. When we are in January 2nd and we are parallel period and said -1, so it moved this by 1 month, but then it gave us the full month of December. It is not only the one date. So it means parallel period is always returning the full period month. If it's a month, it will always return the full month. If it is a quarter, it will always return the full quarter. It's a year, it will always return the full year. Does not matter what granularity you are looking at. Let's make a small change in here. Actually, I have a move function. I'm going to make it to 0 hour because we are using that. So now if you look at, now I made it 0. So if we look at the January 2nd, we are looking at, it means we are getting the full January. It's not stopping at that particular date. So it's a parallel, it's period minus 1, and it is giving us the full January dates. And now look at that, it's giving us the full quarter, so it's giving us the full year. So it means parallel period in certain cases looks like working the same way as the same period last year and the DateAdd minus interval, whatever the interval we give. But parallel period always return the full period. So what it returns the full period based on? So if we go back again, minus 1. So what it does is it takes the, if we're in this context, in first we are in January 2nd, it moved this by 1 month, and then whatever the, when it moved it by 1 month, it went back to December 2017, and then it gave us the full dates of December 2017. And similarly, whatever the date we are looking at, it moved back to the previous quarter and then gave us the full quarter. So let's quickly look how parallel period is different than DateAdd. So we have a parallel period, month, quarter, year. So I'm gonna drop DateAdd function as well, maybe the same DateAdd. So now these more or less uses the same move value what if parameter. So let's see how these are different. So when we are using at the year level, the parallel period month is the same as the DateAdd minus 1 month. So it's all good. When we are using the quarter, they are the same. When we are using year, then they are the same. So how and when it is different? When we are looking at the year level, everything seems to be the same as the DateAdd. So now let's go one level down. So when we are at the quarter level, so parallel period month is giving us moving back 3 months. Similarly, DateAdd month also moved back 3 months, similar data. And parallel period quarter is also moved the same previous quarter. And this is also DateAdd quarter is previous quarter minus 1 interval. Now the year is different. If you see here, the parallel period gave us the full year. So again, as I said, parallel period always gave us the full year of the interval. So this is the interval is the year, but in the DateAdd minus year, it gives us quarter 1 has 3 months of data. We are in January 2018 to March 2018. What the parallel period gave us, DateAdd gave us January 27 to March 2017. So basically 3 months compared to the previous year 3 months. But parallel period gave us the full year. So that's the big difference. DateAdd minus 1 year compared to parallel period minus 1 year. Parallel period gave us the full year. DateAdd give us the exactly same range of dates what context we are looking at. So that's a big difference. So let's go one level down. So let's look at the May data. So when we are looking at the May data, it's a month level data. So May 5th. So parallel period month give us the previous month. This is perfectly fine. And DateAdd month also gave us the previous month. Now look at the parallel period quarter and the DateAdd quarter. So DateAdd quarter moved back 3 months. So we are in April. So minus 3 months because we're saying, okay, move back by 1 quarter. So which is 3 months. So it gave us like a second February, right? So that's the because we are in May, it went 3 months back, so it's giving us February. But whereas the parallel period quarter gave us the full previous quarter, we are in May 2018, which is the second quarter of the year, and it automatically gave us the full quarter, the previous quarter, but full range, not just the 1 month as the DateAdd gave. So, and looking at the year, so again, DateAdd gave us the previous year, same May 2017, just 1 month. But look at parallel period, it still gave us the full year. So parallel period is always giving the full period depending on what you're looking at. So that's a big difference. You have to be very careful you can't say the date add function and the parallel period are the same. As you can clearly see, there's a huge difference. So let's look at the date level. So May 4th, so parallel period is giving us the full previous month minus 1 month as the interval. So it moved back 1 month and gave us the full month. Whereas the DateAdd gave us only one date. So if I'm on May 4th, it gave us April 4th. So exactly go back 1 month. In the quarter, the same thing. Parallel period gave us the full previous quarter, and whereas the DateAdd quarter went back 3 months and gave us the second month. And the year level is going to be the same. Its parallel period is going to give us the full year. So, and the DateAdd is going to give us the same date but the previous year. So there is a huge difference between parallel period and DateAdd. Even the interval is the same. -1 is the duration of the interval, or +1 duration of the interval, how much we want to move forward or backward. Even the interval is same, month, quarter, year, but they return the totally different data set. Parallel period is always returning the full. If it's a year, it is always returning the full year. If it's a quarter, always returning the quarter. If it's a month, always returning all the dates of the month. So be careful when you're using parallel period. Parallel period is different than same period last year and the DateAdd. Parallel, if you're looking for in your Power BI reports in time intelligence, you want the full period. It doesn't matter what context you are at, you always want the full year and or full quarter or full month, and then the parallel period is the function. Think about the dates year to date. Dates year to date is when you're looking at the dates year to date function. Go back to my video number 2, I think. Dates year to date, let's say if I'm looking at January 2nd 2018, it will give me or maybe go further deeper. Let's say if I'm in for example let's say I'm in quarter 3rd of January, I'm in August. So what dates year to date will give me? January 1st 2018 to August 2018, or if I'm looking at the full month, or if I'm looking at the date, it will give me January 1st 2018 to August 1st 2018. But when I'm looking at the parallel period, and if it is 0, there is no move, and interval value is 0, and the last interval is year, it will always give me the full year of 2018. Does not matter what level of the date I'm looking at, whether quarter or a month and whatnot. If it is a parallel period, calendar dates, 0 is an interval, because we don't want to move backward or forward. We want to stay within the same context. And then I say year, it give me the full year. I hope you found this video very useful. Parallel period, same period last year, DateAdd, there's so many functions, but they are slightly different depending on how you're looking at that. I hope this clarifies what those are, how you can debug those, and I guess this also helps you, depending on what are your reporting needs, you can then think of what function make more sense to you. I will be doing more video on time intelligence. Do subscribe my channel. Until next video, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.